Hello, Doodle and Chat friends. Happy Wednesday. We are super excited for another Doodle and Chat where we get to meet new friends, talk to them, chat with them, which is just like talking, and doodle with them to create a whole lot of who knows what kind of fun. And we are ridiculously excited to have Jed Dearybury with us tonight. Oh, I just want to squeeze your faces. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. I've been thinking about this all day, and I'm super excited to be a part of what a cool show y'all have created. I love it.
Thank you. Hello, Valerie. Valerie's one of our OG Doodle and Chatters from Canada.
Awesome.
Hello,
Hey,
Valerie.
All right. Well, I am Mandy Tolan. I am the other part of Doodle and Chat, and I am also very excited to have Jed here tonight.
Did you want to share a little bit, introduce him for us, Mandy?
I am going to. So Jed is an award-winning educator, author, and educational consultant. His early educational career was in the first, second, and third grade classrooms. And during this time, this list is amazing, by the way. He was a finalist for the South Carolina Teacher of the Year, nominated for the People Magazine Teacher of the Year, won the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics, and was featured in GQ Magazine as the Male Leader of the Year. Amazing right there. After his time in the classroom, Jed became a director of professional development and communication. He is currently an educational consultant and teaches pre-service teachers. He has 2 books. So in 2020, he released The Playful Classroom, and in 2021, The Courageous Classroom. So Jed enjoys his dogs. He loves ketchup, bidets, dressing up in costumes, and the Golden Girls. When traveling, he enjoys French fries and sweet tea while on the road. And I am personally excited because I've never really had the opportunity to interact with Jed, but I've seen him on social media and I've admired him from afar. I love how he advocates for social justice, and I am so excited to doodle and chat with him tonight.
I hope you're ready for the level of homework we have done.
I'm just dying and loving that you told everybody that I love a bidet, because it is true. It is true. It is true. I'm not ashamed to admit that live before all these people. And get a bidet. It will change your life.
You're going to laugh. My son just came home from college, and he's like, I need to know, first of all, why we do not own a bidet.
He is accurate. He is accurate. It's life-changing. It is look, I mean, let's just talk about it. You brought it up. Let's talk about it for a minute. So it is one of those things. It is one of those things that you like growing up here in America. Like, it seems like such a literally a foreign concept. My first encounter with a bidet was when I was 16 and I went to Europe, and I was like freaked out. What is this thing in the bathroom? And it was just weird, you know? Like, I didn't understand it. Was I supposed to like take off my clothes to use it? Like, I didn't understand, you know? And then the pandemic came and everybody started talking about it. And I was like, you know what? There's one you could just hook it up to your toilet. It's not like a whole thing, you know? So we got one. And I tell you, it took one time and I was hooked. And now we have one in both bathrooms. We have a little place at the beach where we also have one. We remodeled the whole bathroom so there would be enough room to put one. Yes, we love a bidet. We do. We love a bidet.
I haven't even started my doodle and chat, and I know exactly what Jed's name is going to be outlined by.
I love it.
Spouting water. I think we have to turn the camera.
My first encounter was also in Europe, and we took a bunch of high school students with us to Europe, and they came downstairs and they're like, does everybody else have like that little sink that you can wash your clothes in, like next to the toilet? That's not what that's for. What's it for then? And I told them, they're like, no. Yeah, I said, you washed your clothes in there? Like, oh yeah, we just dipped them right in there.
Oh my
water sprayed all up on it, and you just rinse them out.
No. Oh my. Well, here's the thing. I mean, it cleaned their clothes. Here was a concern that I did have. Like I was so confused. Like where does the water come from? Like, is it using water from down there? And like, that's not clean. That's not healthy. And then when we got one, I realized it's like fresh water right out of the tap. Like it's just coming right out of where all the fresh water comes out of. I mean, it's very clean. I mean, I know y'all didn't want to talk all about that tonight, but it is. Look, I'm seeing Valerie and Carla over in the chat. Y'all get you one. It'll change your life.
Yes, they've experienced Doodle and Chat, so they know. Rogue is a word that is frequently used with Doodle and Chat, so they have full experience with that. And you just gave me the best start to a Doodle and Chat ever.
I will take that. I will own that. I'll be proud of it.
Spotting water around your name. How could it get more special?
I'll be proud of that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Jed Dearybury with a little toilet. I love it. I was getting ready to draw one myself here. I'm just going to look at yours. That's a good toilet. You did a good toilet there. That's great.
I had time while Mandy shared her clothes washing experience.
You did. There it is. Let's see. Okay. Yeah.
I was just excited to draw swirly spouting water.
Yeah, you did great water there too. I love it.
Thank you. So Carla says, while you draw your bidet, she says she has a friend who does, who is obsessed with heated toilets in Japan. And so this conversation is not the weirdest toilet conversation that she's heard.
Well, let me tell you, this kind of changed the subject a little bit. Well, not really, but it's still on topic. I think it was about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I was working in the town next to us, and I was working with a school early in the one morning, and I was just far enough away from home that I wanted to get a room for the night nearby that hotel. And it was in a tiny town called Travelers Rest, South Carolina, which is it's just a very small town. I mean, it's the up and coming town, great little place to wander around their little downtown, but it's not a city by any means. And they have, it's just to the north of Furman University, if you've ever heard of Furman. And anyway, there's a Hampton Inn there. So I booked a hotel room at the Hampton Inn in Travelers Rest, South Carolina. And I get there, I go to my room. Y'all, in the hotel room in the Hampton Inn in Travelers Rest, South Carolina, there was a heated toilet seat with a bidet. Y'all, I've stayed in some super nice hotels across the country in big city conference centers, really fancy. There's no heated toilet seat in any of those places, much less a bidet. And there in the little tiny town of South Carolina, 45 minutes from my house, they have heated toilet seats and bidets. And you know what? Heated toilet seats would change your life too, if you want them. They really will.
Now, see, my experience with that is like, I need to know how soon the person before me vacated the toilet, and the temperature of the toilet seat is what tells you that. If it is warm, you realize somebody has been there very soon before you.
That is very true. I'm going to echo that I too noticed the temperature of the seat.
Yes.
But here's the thing. When you go to the hotel room and you're the first one to sit there, you know it was regular cold temperature. But you hit. Oh, did I mention that it had a remote? Had a remote control. Yeah. And so, y'all, there's so many things I want to draw now on this toilet. I'm gonna draw a little. Here we go. Draw a little.
So while we've got you distracted, because it's just how I was going to say.
Definitely got me distracted. Oh my gosh.
That's just how we enjoy this show going. We have this little thing called the Bowl That Knows. And in it, we have some special questions just for you.
Okay, I'm ready for that.
As well as some completely random questions, which I didn't even look. I pulled from my little bag of questions. So I don't even know what the random questions are. So we're going to pull from the Bowl That Knows. If you're here with us for Doodle and Chat and you want to draw along with us, draw along with Jed's answers, or draw along with your own answers, we would love for you to be a part of that with us. or if you just want to watch and give us your feedback and answers to your questions in the comments, that is awesome too. So I'm going to pull our first question and let's see what the bowl has in store for us.
Tell me.
You ready? How have Biscuit and Bear made you a dog person? Because you haven't always been a dog person.
You are right. You did your research. I love this. So Biscuit and Bear are my dogs, our dogs. And I will tell you, I didn't like dogs at all in the house, especially. I mean, if they were outside, I could handle it, but they bark, they're smelly, they pee in the floor. You know, I just didn't like them. And then one day I met Biscuit, who is the sweetest, cutest. Oh my gosh! Can I show you a picture?
Yes, he's your chocolate. Is your chocolate or your
Biscuit is my yellow lab.
Your yellow.
Yes, and let me see. I think I've got an album of just the dogs on my phone. Yes, there they are. And this is one of my favorite pictures of me and Biscuit. This was several years ago.
Aw, the snuggler.
Yes, she is the ultimate snuggle dog. Like a lot of the pictures that I have of her are me and her. Here's another one. Look at this one. This was years ago.
So cute.
She's just precious.
So precious.
I love her. I instantly fell in love with her. And I'm going to tell you, she never barks ever. She has only used the bathroom in the house just a few times, and that's recently because she's getting older, and she's had a couple of seizures in the last couple of years, which just breaks my heart. But she's only had two. But both times she's had a little accident in the house. She doesn't bark. She loves children. She's really good with just everybody. And she just changed my life. You know, she just changed my life. She's very good for my anxiety. I'm very honest and open about anxiety in my life. I take medicine for that. And she's very good. She knows like when I need her to just curl up beside me and just be. And she changed my life. And then, so we had her for maybe 2-3 years. And then we got Bear because we felt like Biscuit needed a friend. And I have a love-hate relationship with Bear. Bear is, you know how like you hear that I love Bear, obviously, but you know how you hear families that say, "Oh, my first kid was just like perfect and wonderful, and it made us want to have another one, and then we had another one, and that second one is like a little bit more difficult to raise."
Very well said.
I was trying to think of the best way to say that. But no, that's what Bear is. He is 6 years old as of right now. April 29th was his 6-year gotcha day. March 12th was his birthday. When I got him, my friends threw me a little doggy shower for him, like a baby shower.
Aww.
Cutest thing. And they had a little party, had a little cake and everything. It was just like a baby shower. It was really cute. But yeah, they changed my life forever, Carrie and Mandy. It was and they both live in our house. That's it. Our little tiny 1,300 square foot house. They both live in here with us. And they run the house. Really, they run the house.
I love that story.
You know what? I am wanting to draw on my own page, but I'm just captivated watching y'all draw. I'm just captivated, you know? It's hard for me to draw my own because I'm thinking about yours and looking at it because it's so good. And I just am, Carrie, you know, I've been wanting to learn more about Procreate. So I'm just watching Mandy's every little.
I know, right?
Every little thing she's doing, I'm just watching her like, what'd she click on? What'd she click on? I'm drawing in my journal, my old school paper and pencil journal. That's where I spend most of my time. But I recently, we just did the illustrations for my next book, the Playful Classroom or not the Playful Classroom, the Playful Life that Julie and I have written, and we did all the illustrations on Procreate. And
that'll teach you how to use it right away, won't it?
It will teach you how to use it, and you get very frustrated, and you say some words. You're like, I just used all 3 of those fingers. I did exactly what you said, and it wouldn't do it.
The finger gestures, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna hit the button and swipe. Like I'm just gonna do it the way I know how to do it. So
that's the thing. But I can't. There's so many like gestures. I like whoever learned those. Like who was the first person to use Procreate and just had to figure all that out. You know what I mean? Like not the creators of Procreate, but like the first person out in the world who's like, oh, let's see what Procreate is. How'd they know what they're doing before all these YouTube videos were out there?
I agree with that.
Because there's no instruction manual on Procreate.
No, there's not. You're right. You have to go online and teachers or just figure it out.
Yeah, it's overwhelming a little bit. So
yes, I would agree with you on that one.
I
think we're ready for another question. Mandy, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, Mr. Jed.
I'm ready. I love questions.
My gosh, Mandy, I feel like the bowl is giving us like themes from one to the other. Jed, if you could choose your dreams, what would you prefer to dream about?
If I could choose my dreams, oh gosh, that is a loaded question.
Gotcha.
Dream about I'm almost scared to say it because I know in a little bit here I'll go to bed and I'll start dreaming about it. That is such a deep. Okay, if I could dream about anything, what would I be dreaming about? Well, I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to dream about places that I've never been, and like experience them. I love it when the dream is, it feels real. Like you wake up and feel like you've been there.
Yes.
I would also love to have dreams where I was, like meeting people that I never met, like celebrities. You mentioned I was a fan of the Golden Girls. I would love to like dream that I was on an episode of the Golden Girls, like a really funny one, not one of their more serious ones, but if I was on an episode of their funniest show, or like, I would also love to, I would love to dream that I'm like, I don't know, Bob Ross, that I was Bob Ross and I was painting like Bob Ross. And I don't know. That's a great question. I've never even thought about that. Because I will tell you, sometimes me and dreams have a really tumultuous relationship. There was a time in my life where I feel like every dream I had was a nightmare. And that's a little bit probably deeper than you want to get into with my therapy, but I didn't like to dream. I just wanted to go to sleep and just be. But I do love the idea of like, if I could pick it, what would it be? And I'm looking at some of the things on my wall over there. Like, I would love to dream that I was a unicorn. What if I was a real live unicorn? Or what if I was a real live giraffe wearing a rainbow bow tie? What would that dream entail? That's telling you some stuff that's on my wall over there. Ooh, what if my Cabbage Patch Eric came to life and I could talk?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting inspired here. Okay, so I have, back to the Golden Girls. I have these. This might be slightly terrifying. I have these crocheted dolls that are the Golden Girls. My friend David Mead crocheted them for me as a commissioned art project. He's a fabric artist, and he crocheted them for me. What if those dolls came to life and could talk to me like Woody and Buzz talk to each other?
That'd be trippy.
It would be trippy, but like, what would it? I would that might be a nightmare. Let's skip that one. I don't want, now I'm feeling like they're looking at me. Oh wow, that's a good question. What would you dream?
Well, it's really the reason I like rolled into that a little bit differently was last week we had Ann Cosma on here. I don't know if you know Ann. I feel like Ann knows everybody, or at least there's like a degree of separation from her. Yeah. And she had several dream questions, and so we got deep into dreams. So when you said that your dreams are nightmares, I was like, oh, Mandy, I remember that conversation from last week.
Yeah, so Mandy also has some pretty trippy dreams, and I shared that I had a recurring dream last week about I had some sea monkeys and my mom threw them out, which is a true story. But the recurring dream was that where they landed at night, they would pop up like tombstones, and these sea monkey zombies would come out and try to come for revenge. And I mean, that's a trippy story. That's a trippy story.
I like it though.
Well, I don't know that I liked it, but
well, I mean, it shows me what's inside your brain a little bit, maybe.
That is actually probably very accurate. That's probably right.
They butchered this map. I should have gone with the globe. I was like, you draw globes all the time, Carrie. Do something different. I did a map. I butchered it.
I just drew a globe.
I drew a suitcase.
That's a good shift. I'm never drawing a map again. Because then I decided to put like the you are here symbols in here. And now it just looks like there's stupid little dot thingies on my map. But it's okay.
It's so funny to hear your thought process like that, because that is what I think that about 99%. I'm so critical of my drawings and my even my doodles. I just sometimes I get so frustrated at them.
I am too, and I think sometimes people see our drawings, right, and they're like, "There's no way that we think like that." Almost all the time.
Yeah. Here's what I found about my own drawing adventure right now. Where I mean, I feel like if you put something in front of me, I can draw it.
Mm-hmm.
But to conceptualize the drawing all on my own and put it on paper is very difficult for me. So what I've been doing, do you surely y'all follow Jarrett Lerner? Y'all know Jarrett?
Yeah, he's amazing. Those that he's been doing. Oh my gosh.
So I think it was last year, maybe no, actually it was. There's a time warp since the pandemic has started. We're in a time warp. It was right after all the pandemic started in 2020 when he started talking about building your visual vocabulary.
Yep.
And he said to build your visual vocabulary, just like what started it for me was going through each letter of the alphabet. And I think, Carrie, you probably remember when I was putting those doodles out of each letter. But what I was doing, I was looking, like if I want to draw an alligator, I would look at alligators online and find one that I like and draw that alligator. 100%. And then I would look for an aardvark or an armchair or an apple, and I would literally look up each of those words, and I would type in armchair doodle, apple doodle, and I would just find that image and copy it. And it helped so much to do that. So I had this visual image in my brain that I could then take and make my own in the future.
For sure.
But I have found, I'll show y'all, this is kind of where I've settled with how I'm going to draw people. This is how I'm going to draw people from now on. That's it.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
That's just how I draw people.
Look at Biscuit and Bear. They're adorable. Oh my God.
And you know what? It's funny that way to draw. I learned how to draw a dog, like a little fun dog. I'll show you this in just a minute. Y'all will laugh at this, but it was the way I learned to draw a dog when I was little. But that particular way, I just saw a little YouTube video or Instagram reel yesterday showing to draw a dog that way.
So cute.
But hey, let me teach y'all how to draw the dog I was talking about. Let me to tell you how to draw it. Okay, so draw. No, I'm not going to show you on paper. I'm going to give you directions.
Okay, doke. We're ready.
Okay, so draw 4 small circles in a straight line.
4 small.
Horizontal. Okay.
Yeah, in a horizontal line. Yeah, 4 solid.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and put the number 11 in the bottom of each circle. Okay. Now think left to right. The circle on the left is circle 1. The circle on the far right, or on the far right, is circle 4. So what you're going to do is draw an arch that goes from circle 1 to circle 4. There you go. Look at that. I love it. Okay. Now on the left-hand side, you're going to draw like a little half oval coming off.
On the left-hand side, you're going to draw a little half oval.
Well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said half. I was thinking of a little different. This is giving me erase that mark. Erase that mark. Oh, and Carrie, you did, yeah.
What did I do? Just go. Keep going. Let's just embrace it.
I wanted you to put the number 11 inside the circle. Mandy, you did it right. You did it right. Inside each, did I say inside each circle? Maybe I did. I don't know. We have a video. So okay. So let me so make like a half circle coming off of the left side, like a half circle coming off the left side of the. So that there you go. There you go. Now make one of those on the other side, Carrie.
I gotta watch Mandy.
I mean, Mandy. Sorry, Mandy. Sorry. Now you've got the little dog's paws and his ears. Now put his little doggy face. Carrie, yours is a hot mess. I can't fix it. I don't know.
I have an idea. Let's see if I can fix it.
Where's his face at?
It's inside what you drew, the arc. Here, wait. Y'all need to see mine. Hold on.
Okay, wait. So this arc should have been bigger, like this?
No, it's fine. Well, it could have been like that, but yours was a short, stubby little dog. It's fine. You know what? Clearly, it was my directions. Clearly,
I actually like this really very much.
Now, Carrie, yours is starting to look like maybe a koala.
I'm trying to make him. I tried to make him laying on a pillow. I got some Mandy's now since he's our overachiever of the day.
Here,
look. That's not Mandy's. That's not. That's
and
Mandy's.
then we didn't even get to the put some hair on top of his head.
Oh, it looks. Oh, yeah, mine. Oh, yeah.
That's how I learned to draw a dog. I don't know if there it is.
Oh, here we go.
That's what it was supposed to look like.
Oh, wait, where are the 11s?
They're inside the little
Inside the paw.
Oh, for goodness sake. I would have never imagined that.
Oh no.
See, I taught first grade, and so first grade was like, oh, make 11s. They just used to they just understood.
Oh wow, thanks, Jed.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
They just understood.
And I tried to add a tail, and that just made it worse.
He's called Doodle Dog. That's what that's called, Doodle Dog.
Yeah, I tried to add a tail.
I am so tickled by this whole process. That
hey, look, it's cute.
He's gonna live right there. Yep. He's gonna live right there. Where were his ears?
On this side, those are the half moons that we were trying to draw.
Oh, okay. Well, my dog has some big old weird looking ears. So
that's what I love about this is your dog can be whatever. Carrie, yours is like it's like in a ball pit, maybe.
Oh, I tried to make then I tried to make it on a pillow, and then I tried to add a tail, and then I tried to add the back to give it depth, and I just need to let it be.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
So this is Doodle Dog.
Doodle Dog.
Oh, and Melody is here, all the way from Alaska.
Oh, what? I used to. I ran a camp in Alaska one summer. Fantastic.
Stop it! You did not.
I did. Yeah. Who is it?
Melody.
What part of Alaska, Melody? Let us know in the comments. I ran a little camp one summer in college in a little tiny town called Delta Junction, Alaska, which is about 2 hours south of Fairbanks.
Crazy.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
What?
so can you tell which Golden Girls I was going for just based on the top of their heads?
I think I
almost
can.
did that. You stole my
I think
idea.
I can. I think I can. So the one on the right is Blanche.
Yes. Or no, that's Rose. So I
Okay.
must have gotten their hair not quite right. So I intended
Well-
for that one to be Rose.
So that could be Rose. So then is the other one on the left Blanche?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then the bottom is Sophia. The top is Dorothy.
Yes. You
Good
got
job,
it.
Mindy.
That
Yeah.
was my intention, but Dorothy's hair looks
Well-
weird. That's the one I started with, and it kind of looks like
No.
a butt, and I'm sorry.
I love that. I love that so much. I had not gotten to that point yet of what I was going to draw for them.
I think just as he starts to draw, I think it's a good time for another question.
Yeah, I'm going to draw.
He's ignoring us.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
ask another question. I love it.
I'm going to ask you your question.
I love it.
And Melody says she's just outside of Anchorage.
Okay. Well, we flew into Anchorage and then changed planes and got on a plane and went to Fairbanks. I spent a few days in Anchorage, though.
All right. I am so excited that the Bull gave us this question because I had a really wonderful time reading the blog post that goes along with this question because I could so deeply relate to it. I wanted to remember the title. I looked it up before the show and I've already forgotten it, which is so Carrie. But it was about a time that you had read a Facebook post and you felt the urge to let other educators know something about you. And so, or things about you. And so that gave us this question. What is the best and worst part of being a vulnerable educator?
Well, the best part is the modeling of authenticity to your students and to your peers and just living your best life. The authenticity of it all is just the best. As someone who lived in the closet for 35 years, authenticity is so important to me because I spent most of my life trying to not be, and it crushed and squashed who I was for many reasons, not just because of my sexuality, but because it just kept the world from knowing the real me, I think, in so many ways, because I was constantly trying to be straight enough, be masculine enough, be whatever the world told me was enough. And so it squashed my authenticity. So definitely the authenticity is the part that I think is the most important and the best part. The worst part is you live in a little bit of, especially where I'm from. I live in South Carolina. It's not always the friendliest place for anybody who's different. You live with a little bit of fear all the time. Of wondering what people you constantly worry about who has a negative opinion of you for your existence. I mean, I know that all of us, I mean, there's people that nobody's ever going to like everybody, right? I mean, you're never going to be liked by all the people. But there's this constant fear of who's smiling to your face and who does not like your authenticity. And that is a little bit terrifying, I think. So I think that would be the worst part of being vulnerable educator. And even as I say these things right now,
of course.
Even as I say it right now, I'm like, who's watching now that's going to be put off by that?
Yeah.
Or who's going to be like, well, why does it have to be about that? It's part of who I am. So it's, it's a deep question for me. And I think that is something that I'll always face, wondering that fear. But the more authentic you are, the less that fear bothers you. Does that make sense?
It does.
You learn to overcome it. You learn to overcome it. You learn to get over the fear, I think it is.
Well, and the more positive, and I'm sure the more accepting experiences you have with your authenticity, the bravery you start to feel because it feels worth it. And you're not alone, right?
Yep. That's exactly right. You find the people who do love and support you, and you hold tight to those, and you forget about those who don't.
Yeah, agreed. And in the post that you wrote too, you went a little bit of a different direction, which I really could relate with. You talked about not always being I don't want to say the smartest teacher. Well, yeah.
I will own that. Yeah, I will tell you that right now.
And I could that resonated so hard, so deeply with me, Jed, because I've always never felt like the smartest person, but you give me a kid and I can teach any kid.
Yeah.
I can't quote things from books. I can't tell you what research says about certain things. I'll take it in. It goes somewhere because you give me a hardcore student with behavior problems and I got you, you know?
Yeah.
But that really resonated with me. And I was like, okay, I'm not alone. I'm like, this is justified. I'm like, here's a guy who's, you know, had great accomplishments as an educator and he's sharing out exactly how I felt for the longest time. And it you know, that part of you was really special for me.
You know, when I wish I could remember the specific post you're talking about, but
I can look at, I think I have it on my my page here.
But when you said that about not being the smartest teacher, it resonated. It brought back a lot to me because I've tried to talk a lot about that. The early on in my career, before social media was even a thing, I had lots of insecurities because I couldn't remember like the teacher buzzwords.
Yes, you talk about that in the post. Yes.
And I was like, I can't remember these words. I don't know what these words are. Little did I know I'm doing all of those words.
Yes.
I didn't know what those words were. And I would meet these people who were like super student teachers who knew all the words and remembered everything from their pedagogy. They remembered all these theorists. Y'all know I write with Julie Jones, my friend Julie. She and I talk about this a lot. Julie's got her PhD. She is very, very intelligent. And she remembers all the theorists. She remembers every pedagogical term she's ever learned. You know, she remembers those things. And sometimes when she says that in conversation, or even when we're writing, I'll say, Julie, I don't know what that means. And she'll be like, you don't know what this means? And I was like, no, I don't know what that means. But on the flip side, I know pop culture and things like that. and Julie will say something. I'm like, and I do that to her, and I don't mean to. I'm like, you don't know who Lizzo is? Wait, what? You don't know who Lizzo is? Like, how do you not know Lizzo? But then that's how she feels if, you know, when, I mean, I obviously know what differentiation is, but that's the word that's popping in my head right now. You don't know what differentiation is? But no, I struggle with that. Even now, you know, I've been doing this for over 20 years and I still have a complex a little bit about that. I like if I'm at a conference, there will always be on my doodle page a word that I don't know with a question mark beside it. So I'll go look it up.
Yes, totally.
Always.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a word that everybody else is probably doodling. And I'm like, what is that? I don't know.
There's been times where I've been sketchnoting. I'm like, I have to look that word up because I don't even know how to spell it. And I can't imagine it because I don't even know what it means.
The phone is a blessing because then I just Google it right there in the
agreed
in the moment, you know, to try to, and then usually I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I usually know what it is. I just didn't know there was a term for it. You know.
Absolutely. So it's also, it doesn't make you less intelligent.
Right.
It's just the experiences that you've had and the words that you've had, the words that you've been exposed to. Because when I interviewed for the position that I was in 13 years ago, I said something about, I can't even remember what I said. And she's like, so tell me about the formative assessment that you used. And that the school that I was in, we didn't talk formative assessment. That wasn't a term that we used. And I explained to her what I do in my classroom. And she kind of looked down her nose at me and she's like, well, that is formative assessment. I'm like, I just didn't know the term. And then I wanted to say, y'all should have been impressed that I was doing it. And I didn't know that it was, like I was doing it because I knew that's what was best for kids,
right?
Not because somebody told me this term and told me to use it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I almost think it's better that we did it before we knew it was a buzzword that you could do.
I agree with that 100%. I am guilty of that all the time. And I'll tell you, I will say this, that where I became more aware of it was when I went through the national board process right after it was the beginning of my fourth year. Cause you have to be teaching for 3 years before you go through it. And I was in a little cohort of people where we had kind of a coach that guided us through the process. And she passed out this sheet of teacher buzzwords to us. And let's see, 2006, I guess that would have been. And she passed out this list of teacher buzzwords. And to this day, I tell her, if it hadn't been for that sheet, I don't think I would have gotten national board, because that helped me to have the bank of words to look up, to know what I was doing.
What to call it. Yeah.
What to call all the different strategies and techniques. And, I don't know. It just, that sheet was a lifesaver. I've still got a copy of that sheet somewhere. I need to get that out and you know what? It'd be fun to look at that sheet and see what buzzwords are no longer relevant, or no longer even appropriate,
That's true too. Is that a little bit of TV onto here?
Y'all are inspiring me to do something I've never done. I changed pens, and I can't even believe I did it. Because I needed a little smaller.
Oh yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of a smaller tip just to.
And I never do that, never. And now I'm like, ooh, what can I do with this?
All right, here comes another question, Jed.
I love the questions. I love it.
Thank you. We love creating the questions for our guests. I didn't think the bowl would do this, but it has done it.
Thank you, bowl.
What is your favorite Golden Girls moment or episode, and why? I love
Oh gosh, that. So there's 7 seasons of the Golden Girls. There's about 20 episodes, a little more than 20 episodes maybe per season. And that is a damn near impossible question for me to answer. Is it okay that I said damn?
Yes. Well, we're still on air, so yes.
Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. Look, if
they cut us off, our 5 friends that have been watching us I've gotten an amazing show.
Where I am right now, it's almost 10 o'clock in the nighttime, so even the censors are in bed, maybe. Anyway. Oh, the Golden. Okay, so one of the things I love about the Golden Girls is they have shows where they just tackled topics that were, I don't know, I don't want to say controversial, but in the mid 80s when they were on the show, when they were on air, they were controversial topics. They talked about things like AIDS. They talked about Blanche's brother is gay. They talked about the effect, the role of women. The whole show was just groundbreaking, and they brought on different kinds of characters. And this one episode that just makes me laugh hysterically, Rose starts dating a little person. And I thought that was fascinating because honestly, that was the first time I remember seeing a little person on TV in a way that was not disrespectful to the little person, was not disrespectful to anything about them or their lifestyle. I remember that episode as a kid. It stuck with me because the only time I'd ever remember seeing the little person on TV prior to that, I think, was the show called Fantasy Island. Y'all remember that show? Fantasy Island. And there was a little person on that show. But I feel like in hindsight, what I remember about that show, I felt like they mocked that little person a little bit in that show. But on this episode, Rose was dating a little person. And there's so many little funny moments in the show where Blanche and Dorothy are trying to figure out how to treat, his name is Jonathan Newman, and how to treat Jonathan, right? And when he comes over for dinner, and they accidentally say things that reference like his height. When he comes in, Dorothy's going to say, "May I take your hat?" And she says, "May I take your height?" And he just teaches you in the show, you don't have to be uptight around me. You don't have to be I'm just like you are. I'm just not as tall as you are. But there's this part where Blanche comes out of the kitchen, and she's holding a plate of cocktail shrimp for their appetizer. And she comes out and she says shrimp. And when she does, the audience just dies. Everybody just laughs. And Jonathan Newman is like, I'm going to have a lot of fun with her. It's just a funny episode. And then the whole episode, they leave you to believe that Rose and Jonathan are going to break up because he's a little person. Well, it turns out that Jonathan was the one with issue. Jonathan was Jewish, and he didn't want to date Rose anymore because she was Jewish.
That's the best. I love when they flip it like that.
They totally flip it around. And it's just, I don't know. I love the show. I love that episode. A lot. Another episode that comes to mind that I think is really funny is when there is a bowling tournament, and Rose and Dorothy, well, it's a whole big old mess of who's going to vote with who, because Rose is obsessed with winning. She's got to win. And she picks, at first she wants to be a partner with like one of these people called the Nielsen twins. They're the like expert bowlers, but they have each other's sister, and they can't bowl with each other. So Rose picks Blanche. Well, then she finds out that Dorothy's a better bowler, so she wants to ditch Blanche and pick up Rose. Well, then she finds out that one of the Nielsen twins is going to be available after all, so she ditches both of them to pick up the Nielsen twins. And then, long story short, they end up both. Nobody wants to bowl with Rose except for Sophia, and it's just a funny episode. And they all dress in these little matching outfits. It's just hysterical. So I see in the comments somebody said, "Who's my favorite?" Melody said, "Who's my favorite character?" It's hard for me to pick, but I really, really love Sophia. Her quick wit, her snappy comebacks. I feel like I relate to those. I'm that person, I think. And she's a little bit grumpy sometimes. And I'm a little bit grumpy sometimes. I don't mean to be, but I am a little bit grumpy sometimes. I'm going to be a fantastic old man.
You're leaning right into it.
I am. I'm gonna lean right into it. Like I don't like it when somebody's in my yard and they're not supposed to be. Does that surprise you, Carrie? Mandy, does that surprise you?
It does kind of a little bit, but I love that you said it.
It's my yard, and we live in a neighborhood. And this is a funny story. So this was years ago. The house next to us is constantly being rented. We've lived in the same house for 15 years. But the one next to us is constantly being rented. And one day, right after some new renters had moved in, I was in the bedroom. I think I was trying to take a nap, like a Sunday afternoon, kind of deal. And I heard some noise coming from the back side of the house. So I get up and I go outside, and there were these 3-4 teenagers underneath my deck. Like the back of our house is pretty high off the ground, and so the deck is probably 15 feet off the ground, and so it's a whole space under there. And there were these 4 teenagers under the deck, and I was like, "What are y'all doing back here? This is this is my yard. Like, what are you doing under my deck?" And they were like, "Oh, well, it started to rain, so we hid out under here." I was like, "But your house is right here. Why didn't you just go in?" And they were like, "Oh, well, we just didn't think you would mind." And I was like, "You're under my deck right outside my bedroom window, and y'all are out here like it's a hangout, like it's your hideaway." I was like, "Go home." And they were old enough to know better. They were like, you just don't hang out under somebody's deck, right? Well, later, I saw their dad in the yard, and he was like, "So, I heard you had to run my kids out from your yard." He said, "I'm sorry that you don't want my kids playing in your yard." I said, "Well, it wasn't that they were playing in my yard. I said they were under my deck." And I was like, we keep our lawnmower there. We keep our power tool. I didn't want anybody getting hurt. I said, if they get hurt, then it's going to be my fault. And he was like, "Well, where exactly is the property line?" And I was like, "Well, it surely isn't under my deck." Like, I just was, gosh, how is this going to paint me out there in the world? I'm authentic.
You are authentic.
This
Somebody
is real life.
out there is also a non-deck person taking up space, yard person, just like you, Jed.
Who is?
Somewhere out there, there's another deck person, that doesn't want people under their deck, just like you.
I don't know. I don't know. I like my space.
Yes.
I like my space. And I don't want anybody in that space unless I invite you in to the space. Like right now, I'm telling this story. So I'm inviting people into the space, right? And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to invite you way closer than I probably should. But like so far, I've told you that story. We talked about bidets, for crying out loud, and how much I love a bidet. I'm a very transparent person and open person, so I don't do real good at setting up those boundaries. But when I do, I need people to observe those boundaries, and one of those boundaries is my property line. And don't
that is farther away than your porch, Mr. Neighbor.
Well, the houses in the neighborhood are pretty close. Like I would say, at the closest, between the corner of my house and my neighbor's, it maybe not even 10 feet, so the houses are pretty close. We don't have it. There's nobody over there right now. If anybody wants to rent it, there's nobody next door. Oh my gosh, that got me so off track.
I have you as a neighbor.
I'm a great neighbor. Ask my neighbor on the other side. My neighbor on the other side, Jamie Flora, she is fabulous. I love her so much. She's been there for, I don't know, probably 10 years. She's one of my favorite people. She is like everything you would want a neighbor to be. Like if you need a cup of sugar, she's got it.
Love those neighbors.
If you need somebody to get your mail, she's got it. If you need somebody to come let the dogs out because you're running late to get home, she's on it. I mean, that is Jamie. I love her. And I think the problem with that house is that it's constantly it's been somebody different. So there hasn't been a lot of relationship building, because by the time you get to know them, they've moved on to somewhere else,
For sure.
And because you don't have your property line marked.
Well, Jamie and I share a fence, so we know where our property line is. You see, and we stay on our side, right?
That's right.
There you go.
I don't know. Jamie is fabulous, and Jamie's also a dog person. She's the sweetest. She does a lot of volunteer work with the local humane society and like at the animal shelter, and she is always fostering a dog. She's just the best. She takes her dogs down to the humane center every year and gets their picture made with Santa during Christmas, and just she's the perfect neighbor. You would love her. I hope she sees this. I'm going to send her this link because I don't know. I mean, I tell her all the time how much I love having her as a neighbor, but for me to say it when she's not listening, that's good.
That is good. She would love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a good neighbor.
You are. All right, let's see what the bowl has. Let's see what else the bowl has for us.
Yeah, I love these questions.
Thank you. All right, here we go. The bowl wants us to talk about TV today, I guess.
Okay, here we go.
This is one of the random ones. I didn't even pick this one. What TV show are you hooked on or were recently hooked on?
Recently hooked on. Oh my goodness.
I actually need a new TV show, so give us something good.
Okay, let me give this some thought here. Do you care if I look at my phone real quick?
No.
I need to look at it because sometimes you just need your memory jarred.
You got it.
Here's the honest truth about me is I do not watch a lot of television. But when I get hooked, I will watch the entire thing.
Gotcha.
Until I can get caught up. Let me see here. I recently watched. Well, I mean, obviously, okay, I'm a big fan of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah,
but that's not even new anymore. This is not even new either. And I think that the second season either is out or about to be out. Have y'all ever seen the Dairy Girls?
No.
But I've had people tell me that I do need
Okay,
to
let
watch
me. It is not a family show. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. It's not one you're going to watch with the whole family. But it is about these 4 teenage girls, high school girls, who live in Northern Ireland. And it's set during the 80s, or I think it's 80s, whenever the RRA, the terrorism was going on in Northern Ireland. And it is one of the funniest it sounds like it's going to be a serious show. It is one of the funniest shows I have ever seen in my life. And you have to watch it with subtitles on, because all of these girls are authentic Northern Irelanders, and you won't understand what they're saying if you don't have the subtitles on. They're speaking English, but they're speaking Irish English, and you need a little help. But it is the funniest show, and I cackled when I when I watched it. I actually learned about that show from John Spencer. Do y'all know John Spencer?
Mm-hmm.
He's an educator. Got several books out in the world. Just a fantastic guy. And he said, your sense of humor, I think you would love this show. And he was spot on. I loved it. And see, that's why I had to look at my phone, because that alerted me. That's on Netflix. Let me look at Hulu. Oh. Something brand new I just discovered last week. And Carrie, I sent you a message about it.
The Disney, or that channel. We can't say that one. That one I know we need to be really careful about not saying.
Oh, I won't say the name of that app, but there's a show called Sketchbook on that app where the mouse lives.
Yes.
And it is a fabulous TV show for people who love to doodle, because, and let me see, I've got my drawing right here. My first one. You literally just learn to draw with a Disney animator. And look at that. I drew that. That is that's Kuzco, the main character in Emperor's New Groove.
Yep.
Yes.
Episode 1. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm looking on my Hulu. What have I watched on my Hulu lately?
So I've gotten to the point.
Older girls and designing women. That's what's on my. I
also love designing women.
Yeah, I love designing women too.
I have had to start writing down, like making a list of shows that we have started to watch, because we have different streaming services also.
Mm-hmm.
One of the disadvantages of having different streaming services and not just having one place where you go. I just have to make a list, because we'll be like, where was that show that we were watching? Like, where was that? So I have a list now, and I'll just pull out the list. I'm like, well, it was on this streaming service or that streaming service. So,
well,
Signs of Age, right?
Yeah, it is Signs of Age. I hate to tell you that, but it is. It is Signs of Age. Y'all know what I'm drawing right now? I am drawing the deck, and I'm putting little people under it.
I almost did that. I did
too. I chickened out.
Here's what's funny about that, though. If these people knew that I was still talking about that, they would probably laugh so hard about it. But it was a moment. Those neighbors were tough. They were tough the whole time they lived there. They just, I don't know. And this doesn't even look like my house, but. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is the ugliest house. I don't live in this house. Oh my gosh. Because I'm trying to draw it from the side, and there's nothing over there except 2 windows. That's pitiful. Okay. Go watch the Dairy Girls.
I plan to. I'm actually really excited now.
Yeah, it's
in my list.
I wish there's this one word that she said, this phrase, and I can't say it because it's just not viewer friendly. But just know when you're watching it and one of the main characters gets off the bus.
Okay.
Be alerted.
And what she says, it's just a little phrase. It sounds like cock-a-doodle-doo. But she changes that first word, and it is just, when she says it, I just fall off my bed laughing. It's just funny. Oh my gosh, they're such good people to watch on TV. Something else that surprised me that I got into The Hardy Boys. I just remember that. The Hardy Boys on Hulu. Have y'all heard of that? It's like a TV show based on the the novels of the Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
no, there was a Hardy Boys when I was younger. Now I'm old, so
Yeah.
but there was a Hardy Boys when I was younger, and it had the guy from the Partridge. It's Sean Cassidy was in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, that's how old I am, but
well, no, I know who you're talking about. There's like a new, it's like a new updated version
okay.
of the Hardy Boys, and it got me sucked in. I see Valerie talking about. She said, "What is that show?"
I think you mentioned all of them already. I think you answered her questions.
Okay.
I also enjoyed Only Murders in the Building. That one was fun. That was fun.
Yeah. That was a fun show. What was the show that Julie got me watching, and I was so mad? It's the girl in the building across the street in the window, or something.
Oh, that was a movie.
No, it was a mini series.
It was a series. Something about the girl in the window.
About looking out the window across the street or something like that. That was trippy.
It needs to come out with the next season. I think I remember. It got weird, right?
Well, at the very end, and you're like, "What just?"
That's the one where ended on without giving anything away. It ended on the airplane, right? Is that the one?
Yes.
The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window.
Yes, good one.
But it was trippy.
I'm just gonna put a disclaimer on there. I am not telling you to watch that because I was so angry at the end of that show. It was like, you know how when you finish a book and the book is just not. It just didn't end like you wanted it to. I will tell you, the first time I read The Handmaid's Tale, the actual book, not the show, the book, I didn't know enough about what happened at the end. I was like, I have all these questions, and you didn't answer a thing. And when I was laying there, and I was like, I just threw the book down. That's how I felt at the end of that show about the woman in the house across the whatever. I can't remember. I was so mad. I was like, what just happened? What happened? And Julie was like, that's the art of good TV.
No, that's not the art of good TV. That's maddening.
Yeah, it was maddening. Oh
my gosh, Jed, what a special hour. Thank you so much for being part of all this. Who knows what we like to call it? Who knows what kind of fun, you know?
I can't believe it's been an hour. It's amazing.
I know. We thank you so much for being a part of this. Friends, if you were here with us or you're joining us later, rewatching or watching for the first time and you doodle and chatted with us or you doodled with us, be sure to snap a picture of your doodle and chat and share it out on Twitter or Instagram, and tag it with hashtag doodle and chat so we can share with the world and all our friends all the fun that we have here on Doodle and Chat. Let's see Jed's pictures.
There it is. That's all I got.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's all you got? That's wonderful.
Well, I thank you for that. You see see that house though? You know how you were knocking on your doodles earlier? Look at that house. That's hideous. Well, my house is like higher on the front than it is on the back, and I didn't know how to really doodle that. So that's what you got.
You're doing good.
I love that they're sitting under your deck, though. That is fabulous.
Now, wait, what is that Miami drawing there?
Well, that's the couch that they have in their living room. And the reason I drew that, I just went to the Golden Girls convention. The very first ever Golden Girls convention was in Chicago last weekend.
Called
Golden Con, yes. And it was amazing trip. I mean, an amazing trip. Can I show y'all? Have I got time to show y'all one thing that I got at the trip? Hold on. Yes. Right here. It's right here. Hold on. Y'all are gonna love this. I just got it. But anyway, this is amazing. You're gonna be amazed. This is an original script signed by Betty White, B. Arthur, and Rue McClanahan. Look at it. Just look at it.
Keep it in a box.
I know. I haven't gotten anything to put it in yet, and I'm like so scared to even pick it up to bring over here. It's sitting over there on a special spot, you know. But yeah, it was a fantastic event. And anyway, while we were there, they had the one of the original couches from the set, and you could sit on it and take a picture. They used three couches. They rotated 3 different couches on the set, and that was one of the 3. And I got to take a picture sitting on it. So that was my first thing. Had a
Fun.
photo when drawing the Golden
Super fun.
Girls.
All right. Thank you so much, Jed. It was wonderful tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I had a fun time. Thanks
All right,
for this.
thanks, everybody.
Thank you.